Hello, welcome to my channel, the Nanaya Yebua podcast. We are headed towards the end of 2024, and I just wanted to come to you with a few thoughts or ideas that have been brewing in my mind, and these are more like reflections of us as individuals, as human beings, and what we're looking at and where we want to take our lives to. And this is really very simple about how, as human beings, we tend to compare ourselves to the next person or next persons. And my simple message is that do not compare yourself to the other person. The reason being, you do not know the true journey, their challenges, and what they have overcome to be where they are. Which means forge your own path, walk your own path, work within yourself to better yourself and get to where you want to get to. For instance, sometimes you look at another, and I'll use the nurses for instance. You look at another nurse, they work in 2 jobs, they have their house, they have their family. It looks like they have their lives together, and you will wish that you had that. But in wishing you had that, you don't know what kind of challenges this person in particular goes through. My life is my life, and my journey is my journey. The question that I tend to ask people when I have these conversations with is, how do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself? So if you want to, for instance, achieve something, be financially secure, and the reason why I'm saying that is that recently took a look at my paycheck as a nurse year to date versus what I actually got in my pocket, and I got traumatized. I knew it had to come out. I was traumatized. So if you're in the healthcare profession, if you're a nurse and you've taken a look at your paycheck and you see the CPP2 there, taking that 180 and seeing that what you've made so far year to date is not what you were expecting, I feel you. That's not to say that, what can we do better to get to where, if you cannot, for instance, go away and work and earn that 100 and something an hour, what can we do as individuals within our own spaces where we work to make things a little bit better? And that is where I am focused on. How do we cut costs? How do we streamline? How do we take the extra course or courses to, move from for instance, the bedside into management or to clinical education or into something else? So we need to start looking at ways and means of, if we cannot go out there, is there any other job we can pick up to make ends meet? You're not comparing yourself to the other person, but you crafting a path for yourself that you could, become financially secured. And all is value input. What is valuable to you? I have a very good friend whose key value is, there are 2 things that I identify about this woman: family and financial security. So she will work 2, 3 times hard to make sure that she's bringing in that to support her family. So you do not play with her family and financial security when it comes to that. So what is yours, and how do you go about it? And we have learned in conversation not to compare ourselves to each other. The other conversation I'm going to have is that we all have strengths and whatnot, and it takes us identifying those strengths and working on them. More and more times, I personally find that I've run away from teaching, but every time it's in my face. So then I have decided that if I'm going to teach, I'm going to utilize all these skills and wisdom and knowledge and everything that I've accumulated over the years and put it together. But also being somebody who loves to read, who loves to research, and who loves to dig, when you have all these in your toolbox, you pull it together. That is what led me, for instance, to the creation of webinars looking at maternal mental health or Black women's mental health, and creating those courses, which is free online when you go to Nana Yayeboah podcast. But what I mean to say is that we have so much embedded in us that we don't see it. But when we sit to reflect and pull it together, we realize what we have, and then, work with it. And sometimes it takes people to nudge you, to say something, to click that you have X, Y, and Z, and this is what you can do with it. You are more than who you are. This is what you can do with it. So my conversation with you today is tap into what you have. Do not compare yourself to the next person, that this person has this and this person is this. To each their own. We all have our various strengths, and we all have our various weaknesses and challenges. I do have mine, and I do have a whole host of challenges. I have come to accept that for the most part, sometimes when I look at the videos I have done and whatnot, I've been distracted. Yes, I have. It's not professional as it can be, because I'm human, and every day is a learning experience. It's an awareness experience, and it's a value input experience for me. The sum of this conversation is that you need to figure out what your values are, what values are in life, whether it is family, whether it is financial, a combination of both, whether it is learning, whether it is spirituality. We have so many values that makes us composite. And understand the cultural or religious context you are coming out from as well, and let that also be your guide. What you value most may not be what I value most, and what I value most may not be what you value most. So you need to understand it. Because Jack has A, B, C, D, and Adam has A, B, C, D, does not mean that I should have what they have. It means that I have to look at what is key, what is important to me, and then work with that. And that, my beautiful friends, is value determination process. It's finding out what your values are, determining what they are, and writing it down and saying, how do I achieve that? I love learning. And I love having conversations, and I de facto love to teach. And all these things are gradually coming around, and that is what I am utilizing. So I hope that you learn a wee bit from me, that in 2025, when we meet there, we can make it massive and better and beautiful. Thank you all for those that continue to return to the Nana Yayeboah podcast. I appreciate you all. I love you all. And there is more coming. Thank you.